Hey there everybody, I have another makeup look for you. Yay! Alright, so we're going to start with that sort of prime time base look, which is just for every makeup you have, there is a primer that you would put on first as a buffer between your makeup and your skin. Makes the makeup easier to take off at night, which make sure you are doing. You do not want to sleep in your makeup. And again, it is important to use eye formulated products around the eye area because the skin there is 10 times thinner than your skin on the rest of your face. So I've got my regular primer here. For the rest of my face, it's got SPF, and if you are allergic to SPF, you can use an oil mattifier instead. And apply your makeup in downward strokes, because that will nullify any peach fuzz that you have. Alright, so lash primer. And lip primer. And this will be the base, again, to any makeup look you do, or you can wear it by itself. It's a great base look. Alright, so first we're going to start with foundation. 1 pump of this CC cream, and I've got my pre-wetted sponge. It's huge now. And we're going to start sort of in the middle of the face and work our way out, because that's where most of your discoloration will be, is here, okay? And not so much at the outer edges of the face. This is my favorite makeup, or favorite foundation, because it is lightweight, it doesn't hide your natural beauty, it just makes sure that your complexion is all the same. So if you get sort of skin discoloration or red sort of blotchiness like I do, but you don't necessarily need a ton of coverage, this is such a great foundation to use. And it also has SPF in it. Again, if you're allergic to SPF, don't worry, we have lots of other foundations that you can choose from. That's really all you need. And now I'm going to use the Undereye Corrector. And just as a reminder, I used to do this step first, but I recently learned that it's actually better to do any kind of concealer, regardless of the type, after you put on a foundation. Because if you look at your skin without foundation, you're looking at it raw, okay? And then the foundation just sort of gives you a blank canvas to work with. And you might think I look so washed out now. That's kind of the point. The foundation is just to give yourself an even surface to work with, an even color, and then you can add color back in with the rest of your makeup. So, and then we're going to do what I did last time, which was fun. This is optional. Okay, just putting that out there. Let's do this. Lift that eyebrow ring up. Okay. And instead of using the applicator to apply it, I'm going to use the cream color brush. Just one side of it, and that's important. I'm going to come back to that later. And work it in. So in this scenario, again, anything to do with brows is optional. I'm having a lot of fun with it. This is something I learned recently, so I'm playing. And it's important to always be willing to learn different things. I always kind of did my under eye corrector before my foundation, as I mentioned before, and then I learned why it's actually a better idea to do it afterwards. Now, if you have bags like I do, but you have darker skin than I do, which I would imagine most of you do, if you're not, you can still do this. Just make sure that you are blending, that's a word, blending out your foundation. And you can use the bottom end, or the bottom flat surface of the beauty blender, or any kind of beauty blender like it, to blend out that foundation. So you can, of course, still use that under eye corrector even if you have beautiful dark skin. All right. So let's finish the brows with what I affectionately call brow mascara. And for brows, it's my favorite thing because you don't really need a lot of coordination to do it. Unlike the precision liner that you saw, you kind of need coordination to do that, whereas this, not so much. So you scrape off the spoolie, start sort of in the middle of the brow, work your way out. And it's just going to make sure that all your brows are facing the same way, which for me is great because I have super unruly brows. They're always, facing different directions and all over the place. So this just tames them, makes sure that they're all in the same place and more or less the same shape without having to do a ton of work, which is great. All right, so what we're going to do now is throw on an eyeshadow. This is our amazing liquid eyeshadow. I'm so excited. I love this stuff so much. So I've got my applicator, and you'll see it's the same kind. It's a doe foot applicator. So let's reach in there, get a ton of it. No more than that. And then what we're going to do is apply it into the crease of the eye, like so, on both sides. And then we're going to use the other side of that cream brush that we didn't use to pat it in. onto the rest of the lid. Isn't that just so pretty? And this is another tip. Make sure you do this. Get some right into the corner of the eye. And I do kind of a combination of patting and swiping or sweeping. The reason I pat is because I can't really see. So I'm using the brush and finding the actual shape of my eye and patting it around. It's so pretty. It's very subtle. I like that a lot. And of course you could actually layer that to get a more enhanced look. But I'm going to leave it like that. I think that's nice. I'm done with the cream color brush for now. Now, something I didn't touch on when I used the cream color brush last time was make sure that you are taking care of your brushes. This is a brush cleaner, okay? And whenever you are finished using your brush, you're going to spritz it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to leave it alone. So make sure that you are cleaning your brushes. At least when you use it, use the brush cleaner. And then if you want to deep clean your brushes, you can also do that weekly, monthly, or whatever. Make sure you are cleaning your brushes so that they don't get all caked and gross. All right, so we're gonna finish the eyes with my favorite mascara. And this is again that Panorama mascara with the different types of bristles. So we're starting with those hourglass bristles, which is going to fan those lashes out. And we're going to go get rid of that. And then rotate so that we're using the regular bristles. And then the fan. And the little baby fan you'll also use on the bottom lashes. Now, something great about our mascara that I didn't talk about before, it's made with wax. Most mascaras are made with tar, which is gross, but ours is made with wax. So before you use it, it's actually great to kind of hold it in your hand like this. This will help heat it up and make it easier, more pliable, basically just easier to work with. It doesn't clump as much as the tar-based mascaras, and I mean, tar, ew. This is made with wax, which is, you know, more natural. It also means that your lashes won't, like, kind of, they'll be more flexible. You can kind of move them around. They're not sort of frozen in place. And again, why would you want to use tar? Because that's gross. And this is my personal favorite mascara. We have so many mascaras for whatever you might need. Waterproof, got it. Lash lengthening, check, got it. Volumizing, you betcha. Or if you want both, you better believe it. All right, so the eyes are done. So I can actually, well, I'm not going to do that. So the next step is a contour, which I'm excited about. So this is my palette of a whole bunch of Mary Kay eyeshadows, but it also has 2 highlighters. So a contour can be a highlighter and a contour, or just a highlighter. That's kind of a reverse contour. I'm going to do both, so you can follow along, or you can just do the contour part. So highlighter is adding light where light naturally shines on your face. Contour is adding shadows where you don't necessarily have them. It's all about tricking the eye into giving your face a certain shape. So I'm going to choose, this is glazed, and I'm going to use this part of the brush, the very top part of the brush, and kind of apply it naturally where light would occur. So if this is the apple of your cheek, you actually want it just above. Where that light would naturally hit you. Now, for the second part, it's the contour, or adding shadows in. And I'm going to use a different palette because it has all of my blushes plus my 2 contours. So these are all of the blushes plus our contours. I'm going to use Latte, and I'm going to use the butt of the brush. Like so. And then what's cool about this cheek brush is that there's a little hole here. It's a groove where you can put your thumb, so you can squish the cheek brush like so. And this is specifically for contouring because you do not want a lot of shadow. And you're going to make that fish face, which is just this, so you can see where the contours of your jaw are. Because if you're like me, you have no contours. So we're putting contours in. You might think, holy cow, that's way too dark. Don't worry, we'll figure it out. So, using circular motions to blend it in. So see how that makes it look like I have cheekbones now? I don't have cheekbones. Alright, so continuing on, we're going to finish everything up with a lip gloss. And this is the new Unlimited lip gloss. And it is so great. This is my personal favorite color ever from the old lip gloss, the Nourish Shine. And I was so happy that they kept it because I love it just so much. But this new lip gloss is just so much more luxurious than the Nourish Shine. And it has the doe foot applicator, which I just love. Okay. So, look at that. I just love it so much. And you could, of course, use any color you want here. But I love the somewhat nude but sparkly of the Fancy Nancy. Let's fix this. Lovely. Now, this final step is also optional, okay? But if you're looking at your makeup and you're thinking, maybe my foundation is like, you know, hair too light or hair too dark, or I've just put on blush / contour and it is just way too bright. We can fix that. First, you're gonna need your floofiest brush. floof powder, and you're going to need the translucent powder. And the powder is a great thing to set a foundation. So we're going to do this. Whack, whack, whack. Open it up, and you're going to see that it has powder in the lid. That's all we're going to use. Take that floofy brush and cover it with that powder. Okay? And then you're just going to apply the heck out of it. This is not just going to kick back the color of any foundation or contour that you're using. It's also going to give you a nice photoshopped look. It's going to help control shine, and again, it's going to help set your foundation so that it stays on longer. There's nothing worse than having your makeup just slide right off. Primer also helps with that, but setting your makeup is the best way to get it to stay put. Lovely. So this used to be called the Goddess on the Go look. Since we're not really going anywhere these days, I'm going to call it the virtual goddess look. So if you want to look like a virtual goddess for your next Zoom meeting or whatever, or you just want to look and feel great, you don't need a reason to play around with makeup, then give this look a shot. It won't take as long as I took, I promise, because I've been talking to you about how to do it. Makeup doesn't have to take forever. It can be as short, and you can take out the optional steps, which were, again, the brows and that translucent powder at the end. The most important thing with makeup is just to play and have fun. Especially right now when things are in lockdown, just have fun. Discover what shades you love. And if you're not sure where to start, these videos are going to be a really great place for you to learn where you can start, what colors you can use based on your skin tone. But really the important thing is just to try everything and find out where for yourself. Because what I'm going to tell you is just going to be a guideline based on my experiences. But you find out what you love. Because half of what makes someone look good is if they feel good. So it's that positive cycle of reinforcement that I talked about. The better you feel, the better you're going to look. The better you're going to feel, the better you're going to look. And another thing that is so important, honestly, the biggest tip to having your makeup look as good as possible is to have the best skin possible. Okay, if your skin is a disaster, then it doesn't matter how much makeup you slather on, you're not going to feel good. But if your skin looks good and if you feel good about your skin, you're not going to feel like you need as much makeup. Okay, so skincare is honestly the biggest secret to good makeup. Okay, so that's all for me. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see all of you again really soon. Bye-bye.